welcome back to another episode of Great Men Profits for the beginner learners. And today, let's dive into how to backtest and then more importantly, how to create your own strategies. So let's get into it. First of all, you have to understand there's two schools of thought. Either you test an existing strategy that's already being used by independent traders or a firm, or you create your own bias. In other words, you create an entirely new strategy and hope that it works. But unfortunately, they come with their own pros and cons, their own limitations. So once you understand those, you can try and mitigate those mistakes so that you don't have a situation where it performs for a while and then liquidates you when, of course, changes come. So let's get into it. First of all, if you are using someone else's strategy, you need to see the reliability over an extended period. This doesn't mean that just the immediate market or maybe the last day, month, or year, but you need to see how it would correlate or how it would perform in past decades. And one of the ways that you can do this is, of course, over Forex replay. You can wind back the clock and try and see how your strategy would perform. The reason that we do this is because, of course, the market doesn't exactly copy itself. There are definitely trends, but it doesn't have a pattern, it rhymes. There's slight changes. Then, of course, you need to see the exceptions to your strategy, where the strategy performed very, very well and where it didn't. And this is very, very simple to prove. You either go, okay, how did it perform in a bullish trend? How did it perform in a bearish trend? And then how did your strategy perform when there was a stagnation in price? There might be several times over the last couple of decades where this was the case. And how does your strategy perform? Does it perform very, very well in one market and dip off the other side in others? Because if you are aware of this, then you can remove your strategy based on the bias. And then you go, okay, I am not going to liquidate my account based on foolish mistakes. And of course, the third one is susceptibility to fake outs. This is the most important one because you need to understand that every bias, every strategy has a half-life. You have to imagine the market as almost a hive mind. It has its own sentience. If there is a strategy that is constantly beating it and taking money out of the market, it is going to adjust to try and stop that strategy. And what happens is when you make more and more strategies, the market adjusts quicker and quicker and quicker. So you almost are left with randomness. Then finally, we have testing a new bias. This is very, very simple. You need to see the reliability over 100 trades and what percentage you got. Then you need to study the lack of dependence or dependence on the current specific trends. The reason that we do this is you need to understand, does it rely on past performance? And is it flexible enough to adjust to changing times? Because if you are making a new strategy based on the recent performance of the market changes. And that is going to get you very, very stuck if you are profitable at the start and then it dips off the corner of the earth.